I just have to tell you a really funny story with one of my patients. It's funny and it's inspiring at the same time. I had a patient who, African-American woman, nurse, who had come in with breast cancer, and I tried 3 times to conserve her breast, to keep her breast by doing lumpectomy, and we just couldn't save the breast. And so we had to do a mastectomy, we did skin sparing, immediate reconstruction. And one of the things that you should know is that we call this a 2-for-1 procedure because when we take the muscle and fat from the abdomen, you know, we lipo stuff, you know, give you a nice looking 6-pack, you know, make it look really great. And this woman never smiled at me when she came into my office. In fact, I was convinced she hated me. I didn't even understand why she stayed with me, but I took great care of her. She comes in for a follow-up visit. I open the door, and she's standing there with just her underwear on. And she goes, "Look at me!" I said to her, put your clothes on before they arrest you. It was an activity for my patient. But I share that story with you because it really points to the survivorship issue that I'm talking about. A diagnosis of breast cancer is bad enough, but if you can leave a woman feeling that empowered after the diagnosis of breast cancer that she's that happy, it makes a tremendous difference. Okay? And I'm just going to, one last slide that I want to keep going. What I'm going to talk about lastly, and I'll end there when it comes to this whole concept of survivorship issues. One of the things that we pay very close attention now to is like, instead of just treating women with breast cancer, we think about how we're treating the patient with breast cancer. And we've got a number of new treatments like radiation therapy. We're now able to deliver it instead of coming in every 6 weeks for radiation therapy. We can deliver it like this right in the operating room. There's the breast cancer. The cancer's been removed. We can put a probe right into the breast while the woman is asleep. There it is right now. And we can deliver the radiation therapy over 30 minutes right there in the operating room. After the lumpectomy, you have your radiation, and you go home and you're done with treatment. But lastly, and we've got a lot of great things with chemotherapy that we're doing well and women are living longer. But the thing that I want to say that is very important is this whole concept of complementary therapy. Stop working. And what I want to say about this is that one of the things that I train young physicians who are training under me about the treatment of breast cancer is that the woman that comes into your office is not a 32-year-old stage 2 breast cancer that you just got to do breast surgery followed with chemotherapy and radiation therapy. You really have to understand the entire picture and the entire life of that woman coming into your office, because your goal is to not have that woman just survive breast cancer. Your goal is to have her be living fully in life. And what do I mean by that? If African American women are getting breast cancer at earlier ages, and a 29-year-old African American woman comes into my office who has never been married with a diagnosis of breast cancer, and she's concerned about possibly getting married and having children, then it's important to me that I leave her if she needs a mastectomy with a cosmetic result like that, because if not, what we're dealing with is a woman who's embarrassed to take her clothes off, a woman who's embarrassed to be in a means that she's dealing with is extremely important in the treatment of breast cancer. I thank you very much for having me this afternoon and for being able to share this.
You to help your sisters and your loved ones along in this process. Next, we're actually going to give away some door prizes. Now, first, you got your bellies full, right? You still good? To introduce the ladies, and then I will read a portion of what they've written as their story. I was very fascinated by their words of encouragement, but at the same time, I was so pleased to see and read their words of gratitude. You know, we talk about a lot of things in this process, overcoming and fighting and all of that, but just being grateful and being thankful for being here, for the support that each of us have received, and I just think that it was very heartwarming to hear these ladies' stories and to share their words of gratitude. And so ladies, as you get ready, go ahead and look pretty, get your lipstick on. Make sure you all up before you walk up here, because what I'm going to do is have you stand along the front of the stage. We want to make sure that everybody sees you. All of the survivors that are in the 2009 calendar. All right, here we go. Starting with January. Tanisha Hunter. And Tanisha says, throughout this process, God has blessed me with the most amazing support. So many people have reached out to me through their prayers, encouraging words, and many acts of kindness. I don't know how I would have survived without the love and support from my family and friends. I am so thankful for all those who have been there for me throughout every stage of this journey. Most of all, I thank God for His faithfulness and the strength He has given me to continue to fight this fight. All right. Thank you. And the beautiful lady of February, love Valentine's Day. We got City Pigpen Beck. What a very prestigious name. Where you at, City? Is City here? Oh, here she comes. All right. City says, I have found that the old saying, you have to go through it to get through it, to be so true. I know it was God, the doctors and nurses, my family and friends who helped me through this trouble not removed. I love to volunteer to work with the children in my church and the elderly. Actually, if the young march, Michelle Bragg. Where's Michelle? This is a huge room, isn't it? Michelle thanks quite a few people, but I love this that she wrote. But an extra special thank you to Shaylee, India, and Reggie. Shay, I don't know, proud to be your mother. And then lastly, of course, she says, last but definitely not least, I thank God for giving me the privilege of waking up each morning because I know through Him all things are possible. Beautiful. And our April sunshine, Rhonda Austin. Come on down, Rhonda. Rhonda says, through prayer, my supportive family, good friends, and the staff at the Father McGivney Center, I was able to withstand this journey. My message to any woman going through breast cancer would be to remember all of your support systems and embrace them. That's an awesome word of encouragement. There's Tony. Hi, Tony. Tony says, I had more life to live with my family, even though my family's concern caused them to be overprotected, which made me angry at times. Because up to that point, I thought I could deal with anything after losing my daughter in 1996. Now, nearly 10 years later, I see my oncologist, radiologist, and surgeon once a year for my annual checkups. And when I hear them say, I'll see you in a year, it feels really good. August of this year will mark 10 years that I've been cancer-free. It's a blessing. And you're a blessing to us too, This is June. Yolanda Smith. Breast cancer has been a time of profound growth and deepening understanding. I have gained many lessons that will sustain me for a lifetime. I am grateful for what this experience has taught me and for every person who has supported me throughout my journey and towards healing. In particular, I want to express my appreciation to the doctors, nurses, the healthcare professionals who participated in my care along with my students, colleagues, and administrators at the Yale Divinity School. All right, Yolanda, beautiful. I need some beautiful women. And July, Valerie Lee. Come on down, Valerie. Valerie says, I was blessed with a great healing team, which consisted of my oncologist, Isidore Tepler, the nursing staff at Radiology Department of the Bennett Cancer Center, and co-workers who offered support and prayers during my treatment. I made everyone a part of the process by requesting positive words from each person that I put in a 3-ring binder and took to each treatment. I would read the words and prayers and feel energized by them. I refer to my treatment as a healing. It was and continues to be this day. Isn't that beautiful? Next for August, we have Phyllis J. Beatty. Phyllis says, I'm married to my best friend and greatest supporter, William. Where's William? Most of all, I thank God each and every day that I may continue to enjoy life with my wonderful family and friends. And then she writes, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's Phyllis Beatty. Annette Matlock. Come on in, man. Oh, the lady in red. The colors started to fade long before I was diagnosed with breast cancer in late spring of 2003. Yes, it was more than I could bear, but he promised never to leave me nor forsake me. For if I could bear it, I would not need him. I can only say that I was carried through the darkness and the colors of life have slowly returned. Isn't she beautiful? Thank you, Annette. Next we have Dolores Jones this October. Hi Dolores, I'm Dolores. She's D-O, I'm D-E. All right, during this very difficult period in my life, there were angels who were there with me every step of the way. They are Trudy and Michael Taylor, Shirley and Gregory Holt, Nora and Calvin Price, Harold Brown, Gelmer, a whole host. I would like to say thank you to my cousin Nora Price, a 6-year breast cancer survivor, for her support and inspiration. I have 3 sisters. My older sister, Catherine Cavell, is a 9-year breast cancer survivor. And close to my life are my 3 sisters and 2 nieces. My hope is that they will never be touched by breast cancer. That's Dolores Jones. What an awesome sister. Phyllis says, some people looked at me with pity and others were compassionate, but I grew strong in body and spirit. The Lord writes straight on twisted lines, just to remind us how much he loves us and that any suffering he endures only 1 in 1 million of how he suffered for us. I have been in remission for almost 2 healthy years, and somewhere there is a fear that it will occur. But I know I will be prepared to fight it again. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. And this December, Virginia M. Stevenson. Come on, Virginia, you gotta pull up the rear, girl. Virginia says, the Lord has healed my body. His power to do all things is what gives me life to continue living in faith and gratitude for all that he has done for over 17 years of my life. God bless and thanks to all my family and friends who prayed and gave me their love and support. Let's hear it for these beautiful survivors of the 2009 Sisters Journey. Yes. Ladies, we're almost done. You okay standing? Everybody's okay standing? All right, let them get pictures because you all are so. We want to acknowledge every one of you who are in the audience, male, female, everyone who's a breast cancer survivor. If you would please stand at this point. And keep standing, don't sit. All right.